Well,
these two teams have only known overtime of late. Could we be headed for another thrilling finish? Sotto with the putback.
Let's see how much they try and make him a focal point.
Casey, come closer. Wait.
And the Hawks will have first possession through Peyton Seaver. Brad in just a sec. Now's not a bad time. You go down court side, Brad. Back to Brad. They're pulling the trigger on that three ball, the Hawks, but 1 of 6, 16.7% through the opening 6 minutes.
Damon mentioned it. Look, you've got Tyler Harvey, you've got George King. He struggled a little bit with Peyton Seaver. Sam Froling is coming off a monster performance. He's someone, he hasn't taken a shot. There are certain times where he can be super successful in this league. When you throw it to him at the high post, you let him fake the handoff, get downhill to his left hand. He finishes extremely well with both hands in the paint. I think at times they underutilise what he can do on the offensive end. For his rookie year, there were times where he didn't need the ball. He'll find his own off dump-offs, offensive rebounds. I think he's now earned the right to be force-fed the ball, especially in the first quarter, and say, where do you think you're best at your best? And we'll give you the rock there.
Just kept it in. Sotto kicked it out. Oh, they've started really well here.
That man has Robert Franks. So we went off the top up to 8 points now.
Two assists as well for Franks. Outside. That doesn't go from Conrad. Another missed attempt. Sunday Detch. Seaver comes up with the rebound. Works his way into the paint, uses Conrad. Nice play.
beautiful. That's the Hawks' best offense. Getting to stop, getting out in transition, Peyton Seaver making decisions. Timmy's out there clearly to take shots. He cannot turn down any open shots. He has to take those. But I'm looking at the other three guys. I'm looking at Madronia, I'm looking at Mango, and I'm looking at Wani Swaka the Bullet. And between those three guys, Pete, they have not produced enough points for this team.
No, well, they haven't. I mean, you look at a team that's really struggled to score the ball. I mean, they had that double overtime effort against United where they looked like they could score at will, but over the course of the whole season, Tyler Harvey, 14 points a game. George King, as you mentioned, out 18 points per game in the first three and just single digits in his last 5 games. He's one that you bring in and he needs to be able to score the ball. Froling, just 11 points. Mathiang doesn't play a whole lot. Deng Deng, 7.8. So they need to find consistent scorers and quick.
36ers were on an 8-0 run prior to that.
Oh, my God.
2 points.
Oh, my God. I just got excited. Did you see that? A back pick for a big guy to go inside. That's what I've been calling for almost every NBL team in the league. They are being real patient, making sure that Rob Franks gets the ball. So he, you know, there was times that Rob would get frustrated when he wasn't getting shots and he would just take wild threes sometimes. They are making a concerted effort to punish anybody guarding him, whether they back pick him into the post or just go 4-out-1 in and dump it into him. This is great.
We sound like a broken record, but this really was a man up until about round 12 last season. He was on MVP watch. Then the Bullets started to fade. They had their injuries, they had their problems, and kind of looked like he checked out. He was unstoppable last year. Walking double-double, he could step out and shoot the three. He was a mismatch nightmare with his ability to put the ball on the floor.
Oh, people were very close to being fed. That young fella, he could just about taste the Hungry Jacks. Margin out to 10 points. Seaver. Decision. Mango. Nice feed.
That's what Peyton Seaver does. Put him in the pick and roll, spread the floor, and just trust every decision to be made by him.
He's been everywhere, this man. Franks can't get that to go. Mathiang with the rebound for the Hawks. Seaver. Open three. Look at the work there from Sunday Detch, and they love it.
Well, they love it, and so they should. But again, you not going to show up on the stat sheet, but Kai Sotto's ability to catch alley-oops and to roll hard made the defense not have to come across and help. So we see here the little ball screen, and Sam Frolling's worried about that ball getting thrown up to Kai Sotto. He doesn't come across, and Jonya ends up fouling for the M1 opportunity.
CJ's basically got two teams. His bench could be starting five, so he's got guys out there. Sunday Detch out there, obviously Kai, Nick Marshall's out there. So obviously these guys can all play. When you got a lead like this, he has a 10-point lead in the first quarter. You can be looser with your substitutions. In the Hawk situation, and I can see that Jackham is trying to probably, like he spoke about in his press conference, trying to find 5 guys that can do well together. Well, in the process of trying to find that, you don't really set up any rhythm neither, so it's kind of catch-22.
Hey, you've been working out in the morning. There's no reason why you shouldn't be on the floor right now for the Hawks.
There's a conversation there, I reckon, Halls, which requires more than a couple of minutes before quarter time. He's a fitness machine at the moment, Damon Lowry, punishing his NBL championship winning body. Sunday Detch doesn't go. Lockie Dent on the floor. Froling. Such a productive game. It's Melbourne United. Very quiet early here. Dent puts up the floater.
That's another one of those possessions where Sam Froling, when you look at who's on the floor right now, Tyler Harvey, if you're not going to go through him, Sam Froling did a handoff and then sat in the corner. Didn't have any influence on the play. I think he's just too good not to have more involvement in their offense.
You think he's too good, Pete? I think he's too good, but I don't know if Sam thinks he's too good, because how can you not have a shot in 9 minutes of basketball? If he finishes his quarter, the timeout should only be Jacob looking directly at Sam saying, do you want to play today? We need you, man.
27 and 15.
Froling gets it back. Works his way into the paint with the left hand. Sotto.
And that was always going to happen when you hype up a man to take a shot, and he gets it punched 3 rows back. That's a great block from Kai Sotto.
With the right hand as well.
Even just substitutions, Tyler Harvey had 7 points and came out. 5 minutes to go.
Lockie Dent. Thought about it.
That's a tough shot.
That's a really tough shot.
A tough one. But it was probably 2 for 1, so give him the benefit of the doubt.
35.3% from the field on 6 of 17 shooting so far, the Hawks. 47.1%. 36ers are going at in this first quarter. Johnson thought about it. Swakala Bullock guards him closely. Shot clock violation.
That is a veteran play from Daniel Johnson from yelling at Sunday Detch for not shooting quick enough. I'm not sure I've seen any player get into their shot with 0.1 seconds after being thrown the hospital pass. That was always destined for a turnover. Daniel Johnson just got to be a little bit more aware of the shot clock.
Ding, ding. That's what they desperately needed, the Hawks. Heading into the quarter time break, they cut the margin to 8 points.
Ready to have a big contribution.
Well read by Mattiang. Some good minutes here, or moments, for the Hawks as they eat into this game. High 15-point lead. It's now back to 11. Brad Rosen, what are you seeing?
Yeah, it's been an interesting couple of minutes for Illawarra. They are very, very quiet on the bench, and most of their energy is coming from the offensive end. When they get scores, they're up and about, but they need to change the philosophy. Giving up 33 points, you see them sitting there now. The coach is into it, but everyone else needs to be quiet. It's got to get up now and get it from the defensive end, start to get some stops.
Peyton Seaver keeps on pulling the trigger. That is missed by some margin.
He has belief in himself, I'll give him that, but those shots, like I said, 3-point, his percentage, it is not great. When teams would now go under all of his ball screens. Back when I used to pretend to be in the league a little bit, guys would go into my ball screens, Pete, and you know what Brendan Joyce used to say? Set the screen lower. Then if they go under it, I might give myself an elbow jumper, but Peyton is still 7 for the 3. You just yanked him for that.
I think that's what Jacob Jacovis is basically saying. You're going to have that whenever you want, the way they're playing you. And whether it's either setting the screen low or setting a re-screen, because if they're going to go under, you can't go under a re-screen. you have to try and fight over it. Mitch McCarron, oh my goodness, just puts Lockie Dent on his skates. Well,
yeah, that's tough. Bad luck, Lockie. Bad luck. Keep going.
Swaka draws the foul.
This is who I need to see more out of. Swaka left a championship team to come to Wollongong, to come to Illawarra, because he wanted to show his offensive package, which he didn't feel he had a chance to display in Sydney. Here you are, you're starting, and this is your second shot attempt. So I'm saying, you can't just talk about it, you got to be about it.
Swaka gets both to go.
They're only 5 points a game, and it's never going to be a huge jump you expect from him. Not to get up to 12, 15 points per game, because you're putting that up in the NBL, you're legit on the offensive end. It's just being that confidence, and he's going to be a 3-and-D type player. Knock down the three at a high rate and really lock up defensively.
Open look for Franks. And the tip in from McCarron.
That's just a big guard right there. Mitch McCarron. I remember back in the days, up at the Cairns Taipans, had a couple of 16 rebounding games.
Tyler Harvey goes to work, puts up the floater. He's having a good shooting night, Tyler Harvey.
So that works, you get a little floater, Tyler Harvey gets deep in the keyway. The next time down the floor, you've got to run the exact same set. You had a nice patient set where you went side to side and you got Tyler Harvey, your main guy, into a floater that is his go-to shot. There's no reason why you don't go back to that well until it dries up. Robert
Franks is finishing from everywhere.
He's just mucking around out there right now.
Robert Franks, 13 points. 5 of 7 from the field. 1 of 2 from outside the arc. Harvey.
This is too hard.
Dent. Deng. From the elbow.
You got to take these shots. Here's what we got to talk about George King, Pete. We can't just sit here and act like he's not sitting on 0 points and 3 fouls. Not only is he in foul trouble with no points, he's wrecking the rotations. So now Jacob takes out Peyton because he was frustrated with Peyton. So now he can't put George out there. So he's got to go with Lockie. So, and I don't think he trusts Tyler to be the point guard for the whole time. So George being in foul trouble hurts a lot more than just the scoreboard.
Well, it is 0 of 2. He's played 4 minutes and got 3 fouls. And again, when you're searching for offensive consistency, he's not putting it up. Sam Froling, he's only taken 2 shots. He's yet to hit the scoreboard. The only replay here. And look, it's going to be a long night if you're settling for long-range contested 2 step-backs over a hand. If that's the offense you're trying to have to come by, it's going to be a long night.
It's clearly not what Jacob Jackomas is trying to lay down for his team. Antonius Cleveland, 30 games for the Hawks last season in their run to the semi-finals. Franks inside, Sotto. Just a little high, that pass for him.
I can see Drimmick and Rob having a slight conversation. Drimmick wanted to post him up, but Rob wasn't committed in his post-up. So Drimmick going, I'm not going to turn the ball over. I'm not just going to force feed you. You got to get a better seal. Eventually ended up going, like, looking at a high-low with Rob and Kai Sotto, but this is situations when Rob clearly has a mismatch. He's just got to keep doing the same thing.
Nathan Seavis check back in. Harvey almost lost the handle, looking for support.
Go to work, Mango.
Mango gets
Go to
fed.
work, big fella.
Mango goes to work. He's still going to work. The D was strong from the 36ers. Froling, though, gives them another look. Harvey!
Well, they had plenty of bites at the cherry. Another opportunity here.
Franks loses it to Froling. Harvey. The floater doesn't go this time.
It's going to be over the back call. Good hustle there from Mango Matthew. That's probably the one-off time when we talk about Tyler Harvey can take his floater at any moment. A fast break when you have an advantage is probably the one time you don't need him to take the floater. Whether it's, we saw it earlier, Mitch McCarron, the early kick ahead, try and put some heat on the rim, draw the defense. Got to get a better look than that when you have that advantage.
Rolling drives, spins and finishes. Oh, the bucket won't count.
Well, they've called this an offensive foul. Little hook, and Jacob Jacoma's asking his bench to have a quick look at it to see if it's true.
Yeah.
Just a fend off.
Yeah, he's his left arm.
Yeah. That is really well defended from Hiram Harris. You know Sam Frolling's going to get to his spin move. You don't often see it with a left-hander driving to the middle of the floor, spinning back to his right.
But if he shoots that wide open three and knocks it down, it changes how Hiram guards him.
McCarron likes the look of this. It's off the hand of Sotto.
Just like you said, Pete, now that they've been in that zone for a long time, CJ's made some adjustments. They just ran 2 ball screens, got Mitch a wide open shot. So
well, now you might be thinking exactly right. Now we get out of the zone for a little bit. But do we go back to man-to-man? Do we try and maybe trap a ball screen here or there? Just things to really keep Adelaide guessing. Having to always change what offense, how comfortable they are in that end.
George King from the elbow. And George King gets his first points of the night. And the margin cut back again to 5 points.
Welcome, George, to the game. Out man-to-man this team. Rob Frank's on the bench, Antonius on the bench.
Daniel Johnson here asking for this to be reviewed. He wants a coach's challenge. He's going to be too late now. I'll tell you what, he tried to get it, CJ Bruton. Well played, the Illawarra Hawks.
Oh, Mango almost with the offensive rebound, but Sotto comes up with it for the 36ers.
There it is, the slowest, quickest moves in FPL history. Just a really slow jab step. Sam Froling looking at the floor. There's not much there.
It's because he knows DJ will shoot this.
Ooh,
yeah, he got him reaching bad. Wasn't even a shot fake, just a jab and go by him.
Just a 3-day jab and then rip middle. It's hard to guard. He's just made a career of getting to the free throw line for that exact reason.
It's Tyler Harvey just offering Daniel Johnson a few words of encouragement as he tries to restore a 7-point lead here. 14 points for Johnson tonight. His first made free throw is now 1 of 2.
DJ has always been a professional scorer, can score at every level, can get himself to the foul line, reliable, can hit the three, put the ball on the floor, jump hooks. He's got the package.
Well, he's very well might be one of the most, if not the most underrated player in NBL history, because he's done it year in, year out at such a high level, and just because of his quiet nature, the way he goes about it, so often gets overlooked. The recognition he deserves.
Even in the Boomer squad, don't you think he deserves a Boomer call-up, at least in the squad?
Well, he had one a couple of years ago. He's getting older now, but continues to just be a nightmare in the offense. Man, as Kai Sotto steps out, the zone buster.
Froling. Final play of the third quarter, a productive one for the Hawks. Can they finish the job here? Mango Matiang. Froling gets a look, and that doesn't go either, so it will be a 7-point lead.
Fantastic. I do want to take you back to round 3, though. When they played the last time, these two teams, Illawarra were up by 2, but it took Craig Randall 17 points in the 4th quarter to get that win. I want to ask the boys up there, who's got to do that tonight for Adelaide?
Well, right now it's Robert Franks. Notice Cleveland struggled. Anthony Drimmick gets a wide open 3. That's no good. Robert Franks got 25 points, and Daniel Johnson, they're just feeding the 2 big fellas down low. You'd think that if they stay in this zone and try and keep them out of the keyway, one of these guards is going to have to hit some shots.
Be aggressive.
Froling goes to work with the left hand. He is aggressive.
Hello.
And he's rewarded for it.
There you go, Sam.
It's a simple game.
It's simple. When you got your head on, when you screw it on right and Sam's being confident, that's what he can do. That's hard to stop. He guards himself. That's the problem.
These two teams have only known overtime of late. Could we be headed for another thrilling finish? Sotto with the putback.
Sotto, I think he's going to continue to get better game in and game out. He just finds himself in a logjam behind some superstars this season. Last year he got more minutes towards the end of the year due to injuries. This year you got Robert Franks, Daniel Johnson, and the ability to play small with Franks at the 5, Cleveland at the 4. So it's going to be a work in progress to find those minutes.
This ain't always a done thing in the NBL these days, but I tell you what, if I'm Rob Franks, I'm a little bit upset. I'm shooting 11 to 13. I'm 84% from the field. What the hell I'm on the bench for? The game is close.
It's the Amy replay of Sam Froling getting where he wants to and make it easy, but you're spot on. I don't think CJ Bruton will have wait too long. Sam Froling blocks Kai Sotto. That's his 3rd block of the night.
Peyton Seaver kicks it out. Froling to Harvey. Open look. Yes!
CJ Bruton just sitting there, crossing his arms.
Brad Rosen courtside.
Just want to talk about Robert Franks. Damon, you're 100% right, but CJ's looking at him and said, just give me another minute or 2, then you'll bring us home. So you are on the right track, but he just wants him to have another 1 or 2.
But Brad, why? Why wait for a minute? A whole bunch of stuff can happen in a minute. I'm ready to go right now.
Timely 3 from Daniel Johnson. He's got 19 points and 7 of 10 shooting. 3 of 5 from three-point range, and Tyler Harvey's feeling it.
CJ Bruton not happy, saying that should have been an illegal screen. I thought that was pretty well played from Mathiang. Anthony Drimmick tries to answer back and straight away erases the damage down the other end. And look, Robert Franks has been terrific, but the way he's playing, he's on track to have one of those games where you're disappointed he didn't get enough shots up. 11 of 13 from the field. He's about to check in now.
This ain't the time to get cute with the subs. Like, this is...
Let's have a look at this. Was Mango Mathiang set? Oh, my word.
That's legal.
My word. Just
legal screen. Nothing to see here.
Screen right now, Peyton Seaver. He came off there after that timeout and he looked at the physio and sort of said, I'm cramping, I need some help here. So he's been subbed out. But going back to the Brisbane question, very happy from CJ Bruton.
Called for a sub? What?
Well, he had calf issues as well last season. And that could potentially be a delayed game. Morning. It's been a hot topic. And in the end, it's probably a smart decision because he has had some calf issues last year and over his last couple of professional seasons. So just making sure he doesn't do anything silly.
If anybody needs a sub, it's him, because the way he's running around, but I wouldn't want that sub to be too long. And I don't know. Might have to ask Brad, have you ever in your life, in your natural life, called for a sub to take yourself out of the game?
Well, let me start by saying if I'm in the game, I'm really happy, right? But to answer your question, absolutely not. You never want a substitution until that has gone 0, so no way.
I'm a little bit in his natural life. What about his unnatural life? What's going on there?
Well, you know.
Well, to be honest with you, my wife says I'm unnatural all the time, but but to be honest, no, I'd never call us up.
Now, coming up tonight, as part of the doubleheader, this will be an absolute beauty. The Perth Wildcats taking on the Tasmania Jack Jumpers. And the Jack Jumpers, of course, earlier in the season had that big win over the Perth Wildcats. They've lost their past 4 Perth, and you'd expect a big response tonight. So that match is coming up straight after this one.
It's a revenge game for the Wildcats. They got handily done by last time they played the Jack Jumpers.
Plenty of questions being asked about the Wildcats right now. They got to come up with some answers.
See there, Wayne Swacker Book. This is going to continue to hurt because they were at one point in this fourth quarter looked like they were coming back and could make a game of it. So this right now has been looked at, this foul, and being upgraded.
An unsportsmanlike foul.
Well, there's 17 days between games. It's an opportunity, as you mentioned, Damon. Maybe that is a lot of sessions with Volk. Maybe it is. That's something that's happened in the past. You see teams have FIBA break, go to MMA, go to boxing, do these boot camps, do anything, just to try something different. Because they've had patches where they've looked really good tonight. Peyton Seaver's been excellent. I think Mathiang's been really good off the bench. Tyler Harvey got going. Yeah, a 3-minute patch where Adelaide just absolutely put them to the sword.
36 is on a 24 run here. Steal from Mango. He's fouled on his way to the bucket. Good example for kids watching at home as well, when you disagree with the referee, the exchange between Mango and the ref moments ago, where obvious they weren't on the same page, but a shake of hands in the aftermath and a move on.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, a cordial exchange of opinions between player and referee. That's what we need to see more of, not all this hostility. You know, at the start of the NBL 23.
Here it is. Nico Fernandez just having a chat with Mango Mathiang, and he's saying, I appreciate the kind words.
I appreciate the civility. We always knew at the start of the year, NBL 23, somebody was going to get the wooden spoon. The 10th spot was up for grabs. Right now, it's looking like the Hawks are headed towards that spoon. That is incentive. If nothing else happens for the rest of this season, damn it, we ain't coming last. That's got to be the overall message over these next 17 days, that it is strictly pride from here on out.
And that's a good chunk of time to do something really meaningful. The spin from McCarron and the finish. Well, Adelaide are looking mint at the moment. They were challenged, they fought off the challenge, and now they're just putting the Hawks to the sword. Harvey and Franks, so prolific. Chuck in DJ, who's come up with 28 points tonight as well. That will not count for Hiram Harris.
These are not junk minutes for the 36ers, even though Mitch McCarron is out there and Drimmett.
It won't be
looks
long.
like they're coming off now, but like for Kai Sotto, every minute is a valuable minute. I'd like to see him just being more aggressive, trying to post up just then. He's too easily pushed off the block, and I'm sure CJ has spoken to him about this, but this is an aggression that he needs to start to show sooner than later.
Now, Damon, you mentioned the Hawks and their struggles. They're going to fall to another loss here. When they come back from the fever break, 20th of November, they played the Kings in the Freeway Series. So that's an almighty test, and it doesn't get any easier, as it won't the whole NBL season. They play the Phoenix, who now look like a legitimate title contender at full strength. Then welcome Melbourne United back home, who potentially may have turned a corner over there last weekend. Then play the Phoenix again, then the Taipans, and then Sydney.
So you're telling me that, what are you saying, Pete? Just spit it out.
Well, what I'm saying is everything is going to have to improve.
No more wins? Say it, Pete.
You're going to struggle with the way they've been playing to find a team they can really go up and win against the way other teams are playing. If they continue to play like this.
That's right.
I think he might be sitting next to a mildly frustrated Hawks championship.
Oh, no doubt. Well, again, they've shown the flashes, though. We saw it at the start of the third, end of the third, start of the fourth. Whether they were in the zone just a little too long because Adelaide are too good of a team and figured it out. The flashes are there. And as Sam Froling has said in the media in the past couple of weeks, they've shown these different flashes of where they can be good. It's just about putting it all together. And they've got a new roster. Let's not forget, you lost Brian Goorjian. Jacob Jacomas came in. He's going to take some learnings from Goorjian, want to do it his own way, as he should. They also lost 55 points of their 88 points per game last season. That is a massive overhaul to have to come in and try and say, okay, we lost Avery Tarmage, Justinian Jessup, we lost Antonius Cleveland, we lost Duop Reith. 4 of their main 5 guys they've had to replace. It was never going to be easy.
3-point attempt from Galloway.
This is when you find out a lot about yourself. This is when character reveals itself, people, when things are tough. And it's times like this that the Hawks need to show some resilience, something to build off of. We need some type of momentum. I catch myself saying we every now and then. Al, I'm sorry, Alice. I got a little bit of Hawk blood still in me.
Of course you do. You never lose it. Imagine the bonds created, both of you winning championships, are lifelong bonds that you have with your teammates and the club that you played for.
Well, that's what I'm talking about with the fever break. The year we won in 2018, we lost by 42 on the home floor before a fever break to Perth. 2 days later, we were in MMA, then we were boxing, just to do everything. We basically got beat up for a couple of weeks and we turned the season around. So either maybe it's Volk, and maybe it's you, Damon, because you've been doing some wild stuff yourself in your own time. Maybe you got to fly up there and take it through a couple of sessions.
Hey, Campbell, get me down there, man. I got some ideas for some training stuff.
There's the headline. NBL Championship winners call on Illawarra Hawks to beat the crap out of each other for 17 days to ignite their season. Love it.
You never catch me with a workout. What I've heard from you. I mean, I'm not sleeping right now as it is, but I'm not going to be getting up and running, that's for sure.
Hey, Pete, listen to that. I love it when they call me Big Papa. Peter Hooley. That's his theme music now, people.
Colder-Gack to George King.
Oh,
It's Ronya.
That's going to count. I love the hustle. And I'll be thinking of you when the little one is up screaming at 4:30 in the morning, and you'll be running 32 kilometres. I'll be having a real think. I think there'll be 3 seconds during the tears where I'm like, man, I'd just love to be where Damon is. And then I realised you're absolutely insane for what you're doing, and I'll be happy to be looking after a crying baby.
Well, if Damon really wants to punish himself, perhaps he could take the newborn on the 32-kilometre run at 4:30 a.m. in the morning, Pete. And congratulations on behalf of the entire team.
Thank you very much.
Fantastic moment for parents when the first arrives, even if it is a bit of a punish early on. Pete, I know you're loving every second of it, so congratulations to you and your partner. So this has been a really difficult night again for the Hawks to digest. They showed glimpses, but the 36ers get the job done.
Thank you for watching. Kung nagustuhan mo ang video na ito ay mag-subscribe ka na sa ating channel. Paki-follow na rin ang ating Facebook page, Utak Pilipinas. Again, this is D Sports TV. Paalam.